Nicole Scott here for Tweaktown, and here we have the Gigabyte T1125N. So this is running the Intel Core i5 CPU, the U470. So this would be the T1125CF2. This is a convertible notebook. Let's see here, flip it around. We're going to take a look at it in tablet mode in just a second. So far we're just going to go over the keyboard, the trackpad, and the touch screen. So the keyboard, I have to admit, I find the buttons a little bit soft. I think the keys are almost too far apart maybe. But there's something going on with the keyboard that when you're trying to type, finding the whole size of the key is almost a little too difficult. I'm not sure if they've just left too much space in between the keys, but usually on a chiclet style, it prevents you from button mashing. But in here, it's actually made it a little more difficult to actually have proper finger placement. I mean, this also might be because this is actually a German keyboard. But so far it really hasn't affected my typing because all the letters are still in the same place when you actually type. So that's been kind of my take on this. And the trackpad isn't so much of an issue because we do have a capacitive touchscreen up here. But the trackpad has this great texturized finish, which I think is really great. Sheepa's actually doing this with their trackpad right now as well. And originally you kind of think it might get annoying because it is a bit like rough. But it actually is quite pleasant to the touch, and I haven't gotten sick of it. It does have a single mouse button, which generally I'm not that fond of because when you go to hit it, you can hit left or right, and then the middle is just a dead spot, so it's actually less button for you to press. But so far it hasn't been too bad, but I would like to see discrete buttons. That's just my personal preference. And the other thing aesthetically is it's like a racing car with all of the stickers, so you can peel them off. I do it quick before it ruins the great brushed aluminum finish. This is the other great feature of this notebook, is that it is not a fingerprint magnet. The finish, the plastic feels expensive. The finish almost feels like real aluminum, but it's plastic. And well, it's just quite good. The hinge feels incredibly solid. Gigabyte's done some fantastic work on this hinge. This is probably like their 4th iteration of whirls at making this hinge really great. I can't remember how many times it's turn tested, but it is in the tens of thousands. So that's quite good. Now if we take a look at, let's flip it into, let's turn this on first, flip it into tablet mode. Now the one thing that you're going to kind of see is perhaps the viewing angles aren't that great. It's glossy. It's so glossy, and that's not something that you need on a tablet. Actually, the viewing angles aren't looking too bad here on the screen, but just look at the glare. Absolutely, look at the glare. Now there is this app park. So this is pretty much every convertible notebook comes with some sort of software application to help you while you're in tablet mode, and this is Gigabyte's. So social networking. Then we have Facebook, Twitter, Internet Explorer up there. Oop, just launched Facebook, don't need to go there, not quite yet. So you can kind of flip around, and it gives you the options up here. If we hit Windows Media Player, let's just see if we can pull up a video. Actually, I've got a video that I want to play. Let's just close all of this. This is how useful the App Manager was. One of the complaints that I do have about this App Manager is you can't customize anything. Like, let's say I wanted VLC Player as my main player. Too bad. Tough cookies. You can't have it. You're stuck with this one. But this is actually the T1125N. It's actually equipped with THX software, and you see here on the back, or sorry, actually on the front,
for decades, the Hubble Space Telescope
we have 2 discrete speakers here that are actually, they're providing some pretty decent audio.
I go through the mission in my mind and ask,
you can see the display is quite good. I mean, like, this is when glossy does come in handy. Yeah, it comes in very handy. Let's just turn this down a bit. Everything's on max right now. is that the colors look vibrant. I mean, this is really phenomenal. And if we kind of, still looking pretty sharp, but then let's turn it this way. Yeah, it's just the glare. I mean, like, there's the light as soon as that flips up. It's like a mirror. I could do my makeup in here. So I'm definitely not that fond of the glare factor on this. Hopefully Gigabyte changes that in future iterations, but we'll see. So let's close this. And, well, for a tablet, well, this is heavy. I'm already pretty tired holding it right here. And the other thing that happens is right here on the back, where the vent is, this gets quite warm. So generally I was holding it around the battery, but when I was holding it with a second hand, I was holding it here, which is right where the fan is. And Laptop Mag actually was able to do some extensive testing because they have a heat gun, or a heat sensor, and at points they were actually getting 104 degrees out of the vent. This right, and the right side was actually getting up to 100, and the rest of it was maybe around 92, 96. But you'll notice that there is no accelerometer. Now if we take a quick look around the ports on this side, you'll see here's the Kensington lock on the side, HDMI, here's that hot fan I was talking about, USB 2, USB 3, 4-in-1 card reader, and then here's a function button. So let's check out what this does. So I like that they put a physical button on here that brings up their Smart Manager. Now the Smart Manager controls USB 3 because on Gigabyte computers, I can't remember the exact reasoning, but I remember thinking no other company has this. Their USB 3 actually draws more power. So it'll actually affect the battery life of your notebook, because I know on the T1005P that I was testing, it added an hour of battery life by turning off the USB 3. So luckily, I've got to put this down, man, that's heavy. So you can actually pull up the Smart Manager and change it. Now we can calibrate, we can turn Turbo Boost off, Wi-Fi, camera, but this is the important part, is that we can rotate the screen. This is important if you're using things in tablet mode. Very important if you're using things in tablet mode. So we've pulled up the App Park again. You can see you can go around, you can launch Word. Oops. Well, you can see the touch screen is very sensitive. And one thing that I would like to see is on Android devices, we've now got Office HD, which is an optimized touchscreen Word application. And I think that's really important for any kind of touchscreen device. Word is one of the things that definitely holds things back in tablet mode. Now if we take another quick look at, let's pull up the Smart Manager again here. Oh, wrong side. And change the, no. There we go, change that around, which is obviously kind of annoying. I mean, this is a premium device. The Core i3 version is $1,100. The Core i5 version that I have here is $1,250. So this is a premium computer. So you would think that they would include an accelerometer. That would be my preference. But let's take a quick look around the system. I'm going to close this up this way. Now I do love that there's this open panel here on the back, so I can easily change out my hard drive. I can change out the RAM. I can pretty much access anything, which is fantastic. Now if we take a quick look around the system on this side, so I haven't shown you this side yet, we have the power button, eSATA, VGA, here's the docking station, wired connection, and PSU. Now this is why the T1125N comes up at such a high premium. Now if we just flip this back into this mode, it's the docking station. So now, once it's in docking mode, it automatically, let's move that up a bit. It automatically flips it into portrait or landscape, so that's quite handy. But as you saw, it's got this swivel feature, so you can actually plug this into an external monitor and use this as a secondary screen. Now, my external monitor is actually my TV. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this over, I'm going to plug it into my TV and show you how I can use this as a media streaming device, because I actually use my TV as a computer. I've got the Toshiba D550 or the MB550D hooked up to my TV, so I'll be able to swap in the HDMI, and the back actually comes with. Let's take a closer look at this. Oh, heavy. Comes with a DVD burner, which is great. But here's all the connectors. So if you have this set up either on your TV or on your desk, you'll be able to use the two USB 3s, HDMI, wired LAN, VGA, two USB 2.0s, and audio jacks. And then over here is the PSU. And this actually comes with two PSUs, one that you can bring with you when you're on the go, and one that you can leave plugged in here. So that's actually a very handy thing. But that is why this device is so expensive. I mean, it is a very premium device, because it is a few $100s more than most of its competitors, but it is because of this docking station. So let's take a quick look at this plugged into my TV. So here we've got the T1125 set up with my TV. You can see the HDMI is plugged into the back, playing off without a hitch. I have Chroma's Web Store up on the secondary monitor. Usually when I do something like this, I have TweetDeck up on. I've got my keyboard, my mouse, and some speakers plugged in. I even have my terabyte hard drive plugged into the back here. Now, the thing that you'll notice if you use your notebook in a desktop situation quite often, then you'll know that the cables often get loose. But this way, all the cables stay plugged in and you won't have any wear and tear on your hinges. Now, if you really love your notebook, this extra couple $100 cost for the docking station will be worth your time, because it'll save your notebook a lot of wear and tear. Now, some of the Asuses are coming in a few $100s cheaper, so you have to ask yourself how much the docking station is worth to you. Now, it is a personal choice. This is a premium product. I definitely would need an accelerometer for the price point, so I think that is one of the things that is definitely lacking in the build of this notebook. But this has been a quick look at the T1125N-CF1 running the Core i5 CPU. And this has been Nicole Scott for Tweaktown, taking a look at some tech.